You don't want a high-value man. You want intensity. And when a man shows up consistently, plans ahead, and doesn't play games, you call it boring. Sit with that. Before you defend it, before you explain your standards. Because by the end of this video, you're gonna recognize the exact moment you mistake regulation for lack of chemistry. And once you see that, you won't be able to blame your chart. This isn't the red pill. This is pattern recognition. And yes, your chart is involved. I'm Alina, and this is for the women who say, I want consistent, I want emotionally available, I'm done with toxic. But the second a man is consistent, your interest shifts. He double texts once, you feel pressure. He says, I like spending time with you. Something tightens. You don't hate him, you just don't feel activated. That's the word, activated. Let's say he texts, I had a great time with you tonight. Let's do Thursday. Clear, calm, direct. Your stomach doesn't drop. You're not checking the clock. You're not screenshotting it to send it to your friend. No guessing, no adrenaline, no edge. So you label it, no chemistry. You think, it just doesn't feel exciting. But nothing is wrong. Your nervous system is just not in fight or flight. That's the line. And that's where astrology comes in. If you have Moon and Pluto contacts, Venus in Scorpio, strong 8th house placements, you're wired for depth. You don't bond through lightness, you bond through intensity, through late night vulnerability, through emotional tension. So when someone shows up steady, your system reads that as flat. But flat isn't empty, it's regulated. Pluto doesn't crave peace, it craves transformation. And transformation feels like tension. That man you can't stop thinking about? Check the chart. You'll see his Pluto on your moon, his Uranus on your Venus, his Mars in your 8th house. Translation? He destabilizes you. You don't feel safe, you feel pulled. And pulled feels powerful because it feels intense, it feels faded. But being activated is not the same as being compatible. Being destabilized is not the same as being chosen. Just because he moves you doesn't mean he can hold you. That's the part no one talks about. So ask yourself, do you want a high-value man, or do you want someone who cracks you open? Those are different archetypes. You ask, what does high value feel like? Regulated, consistent, clear. He calls when he says he will. He follows through. He doesn't change tone mid-week. No guessing, no emotional spikes, no power games. He doesn't withdraw to create desire. He doesn't make you chase clarity. There is steadiness. And if you're used to earning love, steadiness feels unfamiliar. So you say, I don't feel it. But what you mean is, it's not activating me. But here's the shift. High value isn't just who you date, it's how you operate. Are you regulated? Are you steady under pressure? Or do you create tension to feel wanted? Because a secure person won't compete with chaos. And if you rely on chaos to feel alive, stability won't feel magnetic. It will feel flat. So when he doesn't destabilize you, you introduce movement. You reply slower, you test him, you pull back, not because he failed, but because calm doesn't give you that dopamine, the rush in your chest, the edge, that what is he thinking spiral. And without dopamine, you don't feel chosen, you feel equal, and the quality is boring. And you're not doing this in isolation. Online, high value gets reduced to money, status, scarcity, and power. The man who's hard to reach, the man who makes you work, the one who takes 6 hours to reply, the one who keeps you guessing. But psychologically, high value is emotional regulation. And regulation doesn't spike you. So when a stable person shows up, you don't register that as safety. You register that as boredom. You're not confused, you're conditioned, and sometimes addicted to activation. Here's what makes this uncomfortable. If tomorrow you actually met a grounded, emotionally available man who truly wanted you, there would be nowhere to hide. No games, no power shifts, no mystery to manage. Just clarity. And clarity exposes you. It exposes whether you can stay open. It exposes whether you can sit across from someone steady without trying to create tension. Whether you can choose without adrenaline pushing you. Fantasy is addictive. Reality is steady. And steady doesn't chase you, it asks you to decide. You don't struggle with high value, you struggle with stillness. You struggle with relationships where nothing dramatic is happening. You want to feel pulled, overtaken, consumed. Very Pluto, very 8th house. But being consumed is not the same as being secure. One overwhelms you, the other requires you to stay. If you're wired for depth, stability won't chase you, it will wait. And waiting forces a choice. Do you lean into calm or do you go looking for the spike? Because eventually you will stop meeting secure men, not because they don't exist, but because you don't stay long enough to feel them. Because here's the truth, a high-value man won't make your stomach drop. He won't disappear to increase desire. He won't be hot and cold with you. He'll be steady, and steady feels dull. That's information. Not about him. About what your system learned to associate with love. So be honest. When calm shows up, do you stay? Or do you start playing your little games? Astrology can explain your wiring, but it will not override your choice. And eventually you'll stop blaming chemistry. You'll stop blaming timing. You'll stop blaming not the right man. Because the pattern won't change unless you learn to tolerate stability. So choose wisely.